none of the growers that I work with or growers that are around the growers that I work with, there wouldn't be much residue burn, and I would strongly discourage the burning of residue simply because you're losing some of your nutrients up into the atmosphere by oxidization of the residue when it's burned. The second thing, it's really devastating from a long-term soil organic matter accumulation perspective to be burning that residue. That residue is vital to the system. Okay, so we need to maintain the residue. If you have to control mice, you know, some guys are baiting with different baits at seeding time. They're finding that they're baiting right after the seeder pass when the mice are first looking for food. The baiting is the most effective. Some of the fields also, and this isn't applicable to every farmer, but some of the reasons that the mice are out there, they're scavenging for grains that was left on the paddock or the field at harvest time. So minimising your losses of the harvesting equipment would also play into that category too. But baiting and eliminating the food source for the mice would probably be the two main methods to help with that.
You mentioned the organic matter issue. Where are we at as far as achieving the levels of organic matter in our soils that we need in order to be profitable but also have a healthy land?
You know, around the central New South Wales area that we're in now, there's a lot of, depending on where you are and who you're talking to, 0.8 to 1.5, maybe as high as 2% organic matter soils. Again, depending on where you are, there's obviously other areas that are higher or lower than that. But generally, if we say 1.5% organic matter, that's still very low. If you start looking at native pasture, ground that hasn't been touched, you're probably looking at 3, 4, 5%. So it's obviously a goal to get the organic matter back up. The more organic matter you can store within the soil profile, the more moisture you can hold, the faster the nutrients will cycle, and the more nutrients you can hold also. So from a big picture efficiency perspective, we need to increase organic matter. And the only way you can increase organic matter is to grow better crops, which is obviously going to be able to, you're going to have to use moisture better to increase yields with the rainfall that you get, the little amount of rainfall that you get. But lastly, you need to preserve the residue on top of the ground by using the low disturbance systems that we've already discussed, leaving residue on top of the ground, hopefully harvesting the moisture, making better crops that begin to build your soil organic matter over time.
How important is it that we achieve that?
I mean, I'm going to suggest for every 1% organic matter, the financial returns and the benefits to more nutrients and more moisture are huge. So from a long-term profitability perspective, it's huge. I mean, the growers that I work with that have been no-tilling for 20 or 25 years, they're extremely efficient and effective raising good crops, even in really dry seasons, compared to guys around them that are using some form of tillage or tine and press wheel tillage seeding operations. So it's pretty clear when you look at the guys that are doing zero disturbance, no-till seeding, they've been very effective long term.
Are they still at the mercy of commodity prices though?
Everybody is, but if you can do a 10 or 20% better job from a yield perspective, regardless of the commodity prices, you're that much higher and further ahead than the guys that are working their ground.